Here we are.
2 videos in 1 month. What we're trying to say is, hello, we're back with another video. I'm Mo.
I'm Christine.
We're the Roomies Digest.
Did we even say that in the last video?
No.
Oh my god, no one knows who we are.
How dare we?
What's funny is, I thought that this shirt was gonna compliment yours. It doesn't at all.
I mean, you know.
It's giving bowler, which is funny because we just went bowling.
We did.
So.
We went bowling. It was a blast.
Yeah, but we're not here for that. We're here for our favorites so far video.
If you clicked on this, we're going to be talking about our 5s. I'm doing 5-star. Christine will probably do 4 to 5 stars because her stack is large and in charge. But we're going to do our favorites from the first half of the year. Shall we start?
Let's do it. Bum, bum,
Da 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 da.
bum, bum.
Da. I was just looking at a glance. Let's just do a glance.
Okay.
Mine look like they're mostly, no, not mostly. I have some love stories in mine.
Yeah.
I'll call them love stories, not full rom-coms. There's like a few wild cards.
You want me to define my 5-star taste right now?
No, I'm just saying at a glance. What do you think?
Well, I've got some fantasy, some romance, some sad books, and I've got one that really just threw me for a loop. One that I think I would categorize with in an instant. Those 2 books, which is what I will say, I do think you will like this book when you read it. It is so good. I think the scope of mine, because I have so many books, is a little bit larger than yours. Mm-hmm. But you're being very intentional with your taste this year.
That's not to say I haven't read a larger scope of books. I'm saying the ones that I've liked.
Right, that's not what I'm saying either. I'm saying like you are really singling in on like your taste, I think. Whereas me, I know my taste, and what I'm singling in on is reading good books in that genre, in that taste.
What I'm singling out is accidental pregnancy tropes. Not to say that I won't like the one that Arabella recommended you that you ended up loving.
Wait, you're saying, hold on, let me just say, you're saying that you won't read those? What are you saying?
I read too many of them this year by accident, and they all ended up, I'm not going to say what they are, so don't spoil them.
Oh my god.
I
mean, they're not in that stack over there.
No, none of them made it. I read 3 of them in a row, and they...
Oh my god.
By accident, too.
Like you didn't know?
No.
Oh my god. Let's go ahead and talk about this book, okay? Where is she?
But see, that's the thing. If a book is about being pregnant, that's one thing. If
right.
It's not about it and you throw it in at the end all willy-nilly, boo hiss.
Accidental pregnancy. So the accidental pregnancy trope is exactly what it says. Like, it is a pregnancy that is unplanned. It's an accident. There is a different way of presenting that trope, though. And what she's saying is it's at the end of the book when you've already had this beautiful story and then the author just seemingly wants to throw a child in the mix. Like, what are you talking about? This is different than that. Out on a Limb features these 2 main characters who have a one-night stand, and then there is an accidental pregnancy, but it's not necessarily about her being pregnant. It's more about her kind of like flipping her life from what it used to be to a life that like she wants it to be, and she didn't know that she really needed to do that until she had to start thinking responsibly as an adult and be like, wait, I'm bringing a child into this world, okay? So like her accidental pregnancy really just kind of like snowballed her brain and made it so that she had to start taking care of herself because she wasn't doing that, okay? So like we realized a lot of things in this book. She does in fact find love on the way because they don't start out wanting to be a couple really together. They just want to like co-parent. That is because they don't know each other. Like I said, it's a one-night stand. So they start out just kind of...
Oh, he's the baby daddy?
Yeah, he's the baby daddy.
I thought it was someone else and that it was like a different person with the
No. They
I know what happened. You don't have to
yeah, so like anyway, they don't set off to be a couple. Like they don't know each other. And so they get to know each other throughout the book, and that's why I think this book is so well done and so widely popular, because they are truly going from like strangers to friends to lovers, but they always have this like connection of the child who is not born yet when like you're reading this book. Like it's basically from the conception to the birth. Anyway, I never thought that I would really like accidental pregnancy. In all the books that I read, I don't think I've liked a single one. This is the exception to the rule. And I do think that the disability rep in this book is done super well, because you get into the fears of not only having a child, but other things, just being human. So we love that.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm gonna give this to you. I do think you should read it.
I'll read it right away. Every time I see the bottom, I want to go Helena
Bonham Carter. I was going to go off of what you said because you said something really interesting. You were like, I'm outing, like I'm no longer doing accidental pregnancy. And what I wanted to say in our last video that I forgot to say, something that I realized in my reading of 2025, and you're gonna love this.
Okay.
I am now a stan of the trope. Do you want to try and guess it?
Fake dating? Don't. No, because I see the book right there. Is it Friends to Lovers?
Friends to Lovers.
Oh my God. I saw the book. I said, she's putting down her face.
I am a Friends to Lovers stan, y'all. I have read so many good Friends to Lovers.
How can Friends to Lovers even be a trope, though? It's just a book about people that want to date each other. Go on, show the book.
I mean, I think these books that I've read they don't start out as friends. Now, look, I do have this one in the stack. It was not like a 5-star read for me, but I wanted to give it a nod. People We Meet on Vacation gets a lot of crap talked about it. This was a great book. We have the vacation settings, and then these two are falling in love the entire time. Great book. Not my favorite Emily Henry, but this is what started my change, I believe, in Friends to Lovers.
Yeah.
Okay, because traditionally I've been a curmudgeon about it because they've been friends for so long. Just get together. It's really just a miscommunication trope in my brain. But under that umbrella, Friends to Lovers, right? So here we are.
Okay.
We're living our best life with this one. So I think a lot of what I want to say about this trope is a lot of these books start out as like rivals or a dislike really of the other character. The other example I have is the second book in this series, but third book in this series, the best friend.
Older brother,
yeah.
Best
Anyway.
friend's older brother.
Yeah, it's confusing, my God. But the point that I'm trying to make is they develop a friendship and then they are falling in love. So really, I come here to tell you that I'm changing my tune on Friends to Lovers. I think friendship is essential to a healthy relationship. I don't know if Friends to Lovers is like my favorite trope, but I am noticing that there are lots of friendships in the books that I'm really liking. I mean, I'm always going to be an enemies to lovers girly.
A friendship is obviously the foundation of a good relationship.
Yeah.
That's why I don't ever count it as a trope in itself.
Right.
Because if we're going to go there...
I hear what you're saying. I'm not saying...
This was a great Friends to Lovers.
Okay. Tell me about it. I don't know anything about Atmosphere.
Book of the, look at my bookmark I used. It's this young Jin from TXT. So I read Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's a love story. I also read this hybrid, like I mentioned in our last video. I've been doing that a lot. So I did hybrid, audio, physical. Joan decides she wants to be an astronaut.
I love it.
And becomes one.
For women.
She wasn't the first female astronaut, obviously, in this book setting. She is, pioneering this for her family. And along the way, she meets a friend and she, may fall in love with that friend. And it may be an emotional ride this is the Q in the LP.
Queer?
The Q in queer, but questioning,
Oh, questioning.
She wasn't sure, she doesn't know what she likes.
Okay.
She just works all the time. And
okay,
you find love along the way.
I love it. Yeah. Did it make you cry or?
It did make me cry.
Oh man.
It did.
Taylor Jenkins.
Yeah.
You know how to do it.
That's what I'm saying. She knows how to do it. She knows how to create prose. Taylor Jenkins Reid knows how to create a love story. I think I like Daisy Jones better just because it was a little more dramatic. This was dramatic too. You can't get more dramatic than being in space and having all hell break loose. So
it was the space element for you.
Yeah, and it's the 80s, and it was just so much fun. And there's drama in space and on planet Earth. You know what I mean? Family drama. Recommend this if you're a fan of familial drama. You want lesbians?
Love and lesbians.
Gotta love and lesbians.
Love and lesbians.
So the point I was saying is friends
to lovers. Yeah. I say that People We Meet on Vacation kind of sparked it for me, but the real one that opened my eyes to this
Lord Jesus.
is The Raven Scholar.
I thought you were about to pick up.
The Raven Scholar, y'all. Okay, so I have been like yelling about this book for a couple months now. This is a fantasy book with romance, like lightly drizzled in there, okay? Very light. But our main character is a Raven scholar. I'm not going to go into the details of this plot. It's essentially very like large scope here. There are different factions in this world. There's like the Raven faction, hounds, different represented by different animals. Ravens are scholars. They're very smart, okay? And in this book, to become the king, and they do have kings only for like a short period of time. I think it's like 14 years or something. So to become a king of this realm, you have to fight in these trials. And each faction gives a different, you know, competitor. This girl, who is our main character, this woman, she actually gets thrown into it because someone becomes murdered. And thus she becomes the next like person who has to represent the Ravens. My point with this being, her friend, who is her childhood friend, okay? They go from being friends to enemies to rivals to friends again to lovers. And it is I was eating this up and I was only getting crumbs. I was getting crumbs of them together, but they're back and forth in this book, which it wasn't even about them. Like, it really is about this murder plot that's happening in this fantasy world. Mm-hmm. But them together, like, they are everything, y'all. I loved it so much. I also think this plot is really, really original, and it's leaving me I'm a little nervous for the next one. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm worried about my people, but this is what I talk about when I talk about a 5-star book. Like, the plot is good, characters are good, setting, world building, the magic system, everything in a fantasy book that you would want. And of course, y'all know I had to get the special edition from Illumicrate because look at our goddess. She's stunning. That's our main character. Look at her.
Wow, she's pretty.
Yeah, she is. She is just everything. Anyway, so this is what kind of like got me there. But Raven Scholar, y'all, if you're a fantasy reader and you don't want a fantasy romance, like you want a fantasy maybe with a little romance, but nothing like crazy happening in it, highly recommend, y'all. The plot is unmatched. I don't even like trials anymore. I said that in the blog about this, but like fantasy books with trials, I could skip those and be okay. But this one's not one to skip. Highly recommend. Okay. Next on the list, let's get over the friends to lovers thing. I'm over it.
Well, I can't actually.
All right, just say it. Oh God, no.
Paper Palace.
Due to the do.
This is a story of a best friend. Okay, what would a ride or die do for you? Is the question this book is answering. When did you blur that line? You know, with your friend. Friends to lovers, really, exactly. This is why you can't count that as a trope, because friendship is always the baseline.
Yeah. I read this before Raven Scholar, and that is solidified me, and I hate friends to lovers. Ew, boo-hiss.
Sure you don't. So what did you just say 2 minutes ago? You love friends to lovers.
Oh, it's because they're so good. Anyway.
So the Paper Palace was a patron Pixar TBR from none other than a patron who birthed Christine.
That's a weird way to say it, my mom.
Yeah. Essentially about this woman who recounts her time spent at this vacation house in like northeast somewhere, Connecticut. I don't know where we are. New Hampshire. It could be anywhere. Maine. I'm not sure.
Some beach house in the northeast, yeah.
Oh, Cape Cod.
There you go. That makes sense because she's from New York.
Yeah.
In
so
the book,
recounts her summers with her family coming to Cape Cod for, vacation, and just kind of ebbs and flows of her family instability, if you should say. Mm-hmm. Her mom, she liked having a relationship with guys, and not in like a...
Her mom had a steady like role of guys coming through their house.
Yeah, and then she, and
she prioritized those relationships over the safety and like well-being of her own child. And so she never saw a healthy relationship, and that kind of catered to what
the drama of her present day
walk in on. Because in the first few pages, you see that she is cheating on her husband
with someone.
And
I won't speak about it, but yeah, it's really interesting, and I like books like this. Reminds me of kind of like We Are the Brennans. I like a family drama, I like to say.
It's definitely a family trauma.
Trauma? I said drama. But there is some family trauma that is unpacked.
Yeah, definitely check the triggers on this one. There is like a scene in here, so if you need trigger
please
warnings,
check the triggers on all these, really.
I think that's why I didn't like it, because I was like, Mom, how could you possibly recommend this to me with this scene in here? Oh God. Anyway, I think she forgot it happened.
One of my faves.
Beautiful. So there's like, I guess like a theme of what I could call like rivals, enemies, hate to love. They're in different settings in these couple of books that I'm going to go through, but it's all basically the same equation, right? We've got, you know, unruly, you know, man who is trying to kick our main character out of town in a small town romance. Story of My Life is the newest book by Lucy Score. It came out in March, and this basically follows a writer who is having the worst writer's block of her life. She moves to a small town on like her pennies, like her last pennies, because if she doesn't turn in this manuscript, this girl is going to be going bankrupt, okay? So she moves to the small town, and in the small town, she buys this like decrepit house. The house needs to be renovated, and the internal temperature is too high.
After a brief intermission, what's wrong?
You're not going to believe this, but I was going to say after a brief siesta.
Okay. Whoa, my God.
This is monumental.
Whoa, we said something completely different
Give
about the
us
same
another
thing.
decade and we'll be saying the exact same words.
word.
Not you copying me like you're trying to do.
I'm not copying you.
It'll be literally the exact same word.
Christine, there's only so many English words to describe what we just did.
I know.
There was about 3. A break, intermission. I would say you decided to move to a language I don't actually speak.
That's not true. Remember that time that you said, "Hey Google," and you spoke in Spanish?
I spoke in French with a Spanish accent.
And they believed you.
Because it's a Latin-based language.
Exactly.
But anyway.
What were we talking about?
The favorite books of the year.
Story of My Life, okay? Small town romance between a writer who is on the brink of a breakdown and what I could call a construction site manager, also owns a small shop in the town, you know, a very handy man, who thinks that she's playing games with the town. And she's actually a very genuine, loving person. She buys this old, dilapidated house. Of course, he is the one who has to renovate it for her. What's funny about this one is everyone else immediately loves her. He thinks that he's someone special and that he can just hate her willy-nilly. You know, little does he know he's gonna fall in love. And that's the story. Lucy Score, everyone. If you haven't read a Lucy Score book, highly recommend. All of her books are very just like fun, like good banter, always a fun story, like setting, things like that. And this is definitely giving Heart of Dixie. That was the last point I was trying to make before the camera died. Heart of Dixie, Gilmore Girls, just a fun time. Try it. Try it.
Speaking of TV shows, I have a book that I think should be adapted immediately.
Ooh,
it looks like you're also...
Let me think. Is it Deep End?
We both ended up giving this book. I gave it 5 stars. I'm shocked it's here in Christine's hand because we didn't really talk about it together. But I love this book. I think it could be adapted immediately. When I was reading it, the world was just so clear to me. All the characters that Hazelwood has brought to life really was just, this is like not the magnum opus, but like this one I just really could see it all. So essentially this book is about 2 student athletes exploring the world of kink together. It's really fun. They're aiming for the Olympics. That's fun. Like there's just a lot of drama between exes and past loves and student deadlines and goals they have for themselves and just learning about each other, falling in love too. Allie never lets me down. Love her. I love this book.
I want to say this is probably one of my favorite Hazelwood romances. I usually can't remember the premise or the plot because all of them are like scientists, and I do remember Not in Love because that one was really interesting. She's like a food scientist and she is really concerned with like food security. So that one, it's like the later half of the books that she's written, those ones are the ones I'm remembering. So like Not in Love, Deep End, Problematic Summer Romance. Yeah, like all of these I feel like really stand out to me. I can actually tell you what's going on in them. The ones in between, they kind of all blend together to me. But Deep End was very different, and it does have like a little bit of kink in it, but I do think it also does what Hazelwood does really well. It's got this like really good emotional kind of like aspect to it, with good character work. The characters blend well together, like the couple, they complement each other well, and yeah, it's just fun. I love a sport in a book. I'm an athletic girly. I love it. So why don't you go ahead and talk about the book that you want to talk about?
I also have another Hazelwood in my fave so far. It's Not in Love. I've been trying to read this book for years. Turns out there's 2 copies in our house. So This is one
and
of
I think
them.
you're reading both of them.
I read yours and then I found mine.
So there you go.
But like Christine was saying, this follows a food scientist working for a company that is being taken over. What do you call that?
I think,
firm?
Yeah, they're just being taken over because
Yeah,
I think
and
they're bankrupt or something.
The reasons are unknown, but they do need money. Obviously, you're going to take over if you can't pay your loan.
Yeah.
But this is the guy in charge of the takeover. She happens to have a personal relationship with him, and they try to ignore their feelings. And I don't really know how I would describe this trope.
They work together for sure,
Yeah,
and then they start
an office
like hooking
romance,
up,
I
basically.
guess. It's an office romance essentially, and it's fun. You know, I really liked it. I think the reason I liked it more is because I just see all the characters. Like, I liked the whole group. So I think this is the book that people. What's the other one?
Problematic Summer Romance.
Yeah, so these two are connected.
I mean, this does have like a really great cast of characters. I'm glad that you brought that up because Problematic Summer Romance is also a book in my faves from this year. So Allie Hazelwood just all across the board. But I have to agree that like I could see all of the characters from Not in Love and this book very clearly because this is the sister of the main character in Not in Love. And I think a lot of times when we have like crossover or like continuations of stories from side characters, the characters don't get highlighted as well as like side characters. In this book, the cast was like full cast. Like they were having their own lives, doing their own things. Like you were very involved in the side characters and like what they were doing. And I don't know if it's because the setting of this is they're at a wedding in Italy. I'm not sure, but I could clearly remember all of the characters from Not in Love coming back in this book. So I just think like having that connection was really, really nice. And that's not to say that like the characters in Deep End weren't like that because that was a whole nother thing. Obviously they're like college age, so they're not in this group with these people, but
I think it just highlights how you didn't really remember the other books as well, so you didn't.
Yeah,
like,
so they were okay.
When those characters popped up, you weren't gooped and gagged.
Right, yeah. And I just think that, like, also, as she writes more and more books, like, I just think she's getting into her groove, and it's just different. Like, it just feels different to me. So, yeah, anyway, Problematic Summer Romance, if you guys don't know, this is an age gap romance between, like, a 26-year-old and, like, almost a 40-year-old, I think. Or maybe she's, like, 22, and he's 15 years older than her, so he's 37. There we go. That's what it is. 22 and 37. So he is her brother's best friend, and That's
a big age gap.
It's a big age gap.
God, 22?
It is a big age gap, and thus, that is why he is so, like, he's like, you're a baby. But they've known each other for years, and she's always kind of liked him, and I liked this book particularly because it does these flashback scenes where you can see how their relationship developed into, you know, the romance that it is in the present day. Because he's still fighting, like the whole entire time he is fighting to not be with her. Like he is like, this is wrong. Like I know you from since you were a
you
child.
Were not alive.
Yeah. And so like he's got that ingrained in his brain, and he's like, I am almost 40. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So I really liked that because I think a lot of times when I read, kind of like dark romances or like things for like our book club classic literature, there will be a huge age gap that doesn't even get like talked about. And sorry y'all, Sherman is just being so cute. Like what is he doing?
He said, let me take another nap, maybe it'll be dinner time.
What is he doing, dude? I'm gonna try and get a video really quickly if he
trying
doesn't.
To sleep away.
I know, dude. I know. Oh my god. Oh.
He said, "Are you getting me up to put a meal on
my little raccoon, my little trash raccoon?" Yeah.
I do believe Sherman was raised with raccoons.
Yeah, that storyline's a funny one.
I think it's accurate. He lived for a while on the plateau. We don't really know the origins, but I think 2 weeks with the raccoons.
We just came up with a storyline about him last night, so
2 weeks with raccoons, I think, is a formative memory that happened.
My cat gets in the trash, y'all. He will knock the trash over like a freaking raccoon, and it's so annoying because like I will pick it up every day, and so now I'm having to look at trash cans that have lids because this trash panda over here, this little raccoon, is like getting into my trash can in the office. That was a side quest of this video, but yeah.
Problematic summer romance.
It was a great time. Highly recommend. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, let's go on the thriller route that I was kind of talking about, and it can segue into the other book that we really like. So this one, We Were Liars. This book came out like 10 years ago, and it does have a TV show on Prime right now. So I read this because I went to an event with E. Lockhart for this book, and people have just been talking about how good this book is. And I'm like, what could possibly happen in this book? I can't even tell y'all because it would spoil everything. And y'all know I'll just say a spoiler out loud. This is the premise. This girl who goes to this island every year with her family. They're like a very rich, white, like democratic family. So this summer that she is going back, she has realized that like she has had some type of memory loss, but she doesn't obviously remember how it happened or what happened, just that something happened last summer. And so she is going back to the island to kind of figure out like why she can't remember anything, to figure out why her cousins aren't like visiting her in the hospital, like why everyone's acting weird. And unfortunately, even though her mom keeps telling her and telling her and telling her what has happened, her brain, because it's so crazy, not her, but the situation is so wackadoodle, she forgets every single time because she's like blocking this thing out. So she decides to go back to the island for one like final time to like try and confront her cousins, this guy that she actually has a really like huge crush on, that he's always there on the island, and she's gonna get to the bottom of this mystery. Okay, so this book is also written in a way where it's like, I don't want to say stream of consciousness because it's not. You'll see when you start it, it's like very like you're in her brain from page 1 and you don't know because she's unreliable. Like she's had memory loss. You really don't know what's going on the entirety of this book. And I just want to say was great. It made me cry. It was really just a fine piece of work. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't even watched the TV show because I know that I'm gonna cry in the TV show. And I just can't put myself through that right now. Not in this society, not in what's going on right now. So, but yeah, We Were Liars, y'all, highly recommend, especially if you're into like those kind of like plot twists where it's like House on Needless Street. Y'all remember Catriona Ward? If y'all like that, y'all will love this.
Speaking of books that were adapted to a TV show, I finally read Anxious People, y'all. It's my first Frederick Bachman.
Anxious People's being adapted?
It has been adapted. It's out already.
On what?
Netflix, I think. Anxious People is the first Frederick Bachman I read. Essentially, it's about this whole hostage situation that started from a bank robber running into a apartment viewing, and it all unfurls because they can't find the hostage taker. So we have the police officers trying to figure out where everyone, doing the witnesses and doing the interviews with everyone, and it's just we just find out about all the characters, and it's so funny. This book was so funny. I don't think I was expecting this book to be as funny as it was. I was like, this is really a fun book. Frederick Bachman surprised me. I was ready for this to be a drag. I was preparing for a completely different book. This book had me laughing at it on audio too. And I forgot. There was just one character. The wife, she is married to her husband who is like kind of forcibly retired. Their relationship, her POV to their relationship was just so funny because it was like a Midwestern voice. I don't know how this voice actress decided to come up with these characters because they're in Scotland. So I'm like, I would call this a little more lighthearted than I expected. They just deal with like a human, how do we go on when things get hard and when you're feeling like your back is up against the wall. Mm-hmm. I think it was done very well. It was very charming. I had a good time.
I'll talk about one that I read on audio and physically. So Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. This is the new V.E. Schwab. Historically, I'll say I'm hit or miss with V.E. Like I was okay with Addie LaRue. Like I think the writing was great, but I like didn't really like the plot of it, if that makes sense. Loved Vicious, loved Vengeful. I was like lukewarm about A Darker Shade of Magic and didn't even continue with the rest of those books. So maybe that's like a series revisit. But Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil is this toxic sapphic vampire story. I don't want to say it's a romance because it's not, but it is about these 3 women throughout time. One is in like the 1500s, one is in the 1800s, and one is in 2019. And they all are interconnected through this like vampiric journey of obviously like the first vampire that we meet is from the 1500s. Really done so well. And I think this is like a mix and a mold of like Addie LaRue and Vicious, just like taking a turn on the POV of the villain, or like who we would traditionally say is a villain, which is like the vampire in the story, and really just doing like a character study of almost of like how does the human psyche kind of like change after hundreds and hundreds of years, because by the time we get to the present day, that 1500-year-old vampire is cuckoo bananas. Like they have been alive for centuries. So it's very, very interesting. And also the way that like love is portrayed in this book is very interesting too, because obviously like all of these people kind of come into contact with each other. And so to see the different POVs of like a 20-year-old in 2019 based on like a centuries old woman from, you know, the 1500s, like it's just it was just done so well. Like I just highly recommend. And the audiobook is very, very good. And it's heartbreaking in a lot of ways because of this, like I said, toxicity, you know, the give and take between essentially like someone who's using you for a specific reason. And yeah, it was just so good. Like I highly recommend. I don't know how it is completely on physical. If you start it and it's kind of bogging you down a little bit because you're like, get to the point, like what is it? Don't have that mindset. Like do not start it if you need to get through a book quickly, or if you want to get through a book quickly, like really give it the time because it's so beautiful, so well done. Just the queerness also represented in this. It's not just the lesbians, okay? There's other queer characters in this book, and it's just done so beautifully. Highly recommend if you like V.E. Schwab, because this chef's kiss, dude, just so good. And that's all I have to say about Miss Schwab. The next one that I'm just gonna give like a little honorable mention, it's not necessarily a 5-star for me, but it's up there. It's between a 4 and a 5, like The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. I've read him before and I've liked his writing, so we read this for book club for our Patreon. I have to say, like, our entire group, we enjoyed the heck out of this, but we were also confused as heck because Joe Abercrombie really just said, let me put all of the monsters ever in existence into a book and throw it into a plot. It somehow worked for me. I thought it was hilarious. Like the audio of this is just, it's a like curmudgeon-y old man who's reading this book to you, and like at first it's a little jarring and then you get used to him and you're kind of like, this guy's hilarious. Like he just hits all the jokes so well, and Joe Abercrombie wrote it so that it was kind of making fun of these traditional tropes of like these monsters where like you've got vampires, werewolves, you've got this one guy who is technically a magician, but people call him a sorcerer, and he gets his feathers ruffled about that. He's like, I am a magician. Okay. And everyone's like, what's the difference, dude? Like, it doesn't matter. There's also a commentary about the church, because the leader of the Catholic Church in this book is a like 10-year-old girl. She has magical powers, and she is like the strongest being, you know, in existence. And everyone is kind of like, okay, she's 10. Does she even know what she's doing? And it doesn't really matter because she can make people do what she wants. It's just got like really good vibes to it. We got a pirate in here. We've got an undead soldier that literally will never die. Like his body is just being tortured and tortured and tortured for years. And it really is just a ragtag group of what I would not call a found family, because these people will literally kill each other if given the chance, but a camaraderie of this group that is trying to achieve a goal. And essentially, like, no one cares about them. So yeah, I have to say shout out to my character Vega. She is the MVP of this book for me. I love her from start to finish. She's hilarious. And yeah, if you guys get a chance to pick this one up, it is a silly, goofy time, but also like incredibly serious, because you do have like lots of murder and gore happening. But Joe Abercrombie did it. He did it again with The Devils. And I highly recommend for my fantasy girlies out there, because this is a good time.
Speaking of books that we read in our Patreon book club, I host a baking book club, and this is actually one of, just not even just including like this year, this is like one of the best books with food writing I have ever read. It is called Butter Honey Pig Bread by Francesca Ekuyasi. I probably butchered the last name, I apologize. Similar to Black Cake, where we follow kind of the story of two twins and like how their relationship kind of severed. Or like, because we enter into the present and they don't get along, they don't really have a relationship, and one of the twins is coming back to their hometown. When they're coming back to Nigeria, And the mom is happy, all the kids are together, and it's just kind of following what happens or what happened to them and why their relationship kind of broke off. But the food writing in this is so detailed, so good. Nigerian recipes that we tried, or we were thinking about trying. There was a chocolate cake recipe that's described so vividly. Like, everything in here is described perfectly. I think the author is a chef or a food, or the author like has a background in food in some way, and I'll put up a note if I remember. But yes, that is a great book if you like food description or food writing.
And that's it. I'm on my last 2 books here, and I saved the best for last.
Same.
So the first one I want to talk about is Promise Me Sunshine. I talked about this recently in my beach reading vlog. This book is centered around a girl whose best friend has died from ovarian cancer. And she is living in New York, and she's lost. She doesn't know what to do. And the only thing she can really do is be like a nanny to this young girl named Ansley. And when she's with Ansley, she is like the best babysitter. She is like the best nanny. She's creative and fun and just like makes every day so special with this little girl. And then when she gets off work, it's like she turns off, right? And I just think that is so relatable. This character, Lenny, she's just so relatable, because I feel like sometimes when we go to work, we do turn on. We turn on, and we do the work and we love it and whatever. And then when we go home, we just kind of like turn off and like we're almost like our true selves. I don't know. This might not be everybody. It was just so like cool to see, I guess, because the story evolves. Essentially Ansley's uncle Miles. How is it?
I love that we have shifted lighting for the 3rd time. It is more of a spotlight situation.
I was talking about this book, Promise Me Sunshine. Literally, if you're a grief lover and you want to read about it, read this book. Highly recommend. The romance is soft and sweet, and there's a familiarity and the physicality between the characters that is unmatched in any other book. I mean, there is a thing called insta-love, and then there's a thing called insta-touch, where these 2 characters just have that familiarity immediately. And it's not like they're in love, because obviously our main character is trying to deal with her grief. Like, she's not even thinking about dating at all, okay? But the fact that she feels connected to Miles immediately in a way where she feels like she can like hug him and like reach for him physically, I haven't seen that in a book in a long time. You know what I mean? It's just like so beautiful to see. Highly recommend, y'all. It's a soft, beautiful love. And this also goes in my like friends to lovers pile, because they do build this like incredible friendship, and then they both realize they kind of like each other. And
I love that.
There's definitely a cabin scene. It's very fun for summer, honestly. And it wasn't too heavy. I didn't cry that much, okay? She doesn't talk about her friend every single page of the book. It's more about her.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Anyway, I feel like that's important, because I feel like the grief aspect could shy people away from this, and I really want everyone to read the book. Read it! Read it, please!
Just touching on 2 really quick that I don't have with me physically.
Okay.
First, speaking of a book where the passion was just perfect for me.
Perfect passion.
It's gonna be Done and Dusted. I don't know what Lila Sage did Done and Dusted. Passion that Lila Sage just brought to the page was just so good. I had to comment on it. There was like a scene where she went back to her little guest cabin, and I had to comment on it. Like, I was like, dear God almighty. I said that driving. It was very hot, you know? I think this year I figured out my favorite type of spy.
Okay, what is that?
We don't need to log in. Maybe you guys will start noticing a trend by the books I picked this year. I feel like all the guys in these romances have a similar type of energy. And that's going to bring up my last
What
romance.
is it, praise king?
I wouldn't say praise. Domination.
Dirty talk? Oh, they all like to be in control. Yeah, they're crazy.
But the dirty talk is...
Lila Sage, I
Really
have to
did.
cue in on, like, let me just really quickly say something. I did love the 3rd book in her like, series, the Cowboy series. The dirty talk between these men... All of them. They're sickos. And, like, I read some like, dirty smut, okay? But, like, these men are out of their minds the way. And, like, it just goes from 0 to 100 like that. Like, it was just... I was reading the audiobook, and I'm just like, what? Wait. What's going on? I'm making some chicken here. I can't focus.
That was me driving my car.
Literally.
Like, this is a hazard. Speaking of, a romance that took us by surprise, me specifically, gagged. So we both really liked Beautiful Venom by Rena Kent. This is the first Rena Kent I've ever read. This one spoke to me. I don't even really like hockey romances. This one, check your triggers, but I had a fun time. I am waiting impatiently for the follow-up novel. I'm assuming trilogy series. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I can't wait either. It's coming out in like November.
It's coming out soon rather than later.
Soon.
If we think positively.
Yeah.
So
I'm really proud of this book pick too.
I ate it up. And this is like the one I was talking about where I was like, I have to keep reading this book. Like, I can't put it down. Like, I literally could not pick it down. And then I went and bought it.
Yeah.
My own copy. There's 2 copies and I'm not letting this one go.
Yeah, so anyway, we read this for classic literature. This was like my book pick for this year for my month, and it was definitely a pleasant surprise. I was looking for a book that everyone would like, and I think everyone in our club did like it. Mm-hmm. So that was great. Because I feel like I go safe with a lot of my pick. They're not as dark as they could be, you know? Mm-hmm. But this one was crazy. There's literal, just check the triggers, please, Lord.
Yeah.
The first scene, crazy. Let's talk about it.
One more. It's a patron picks our TBR, and they really outdid themselves. Mm-hmm. The book is called An Instant by Susan Redfearn. Can't be sure.
Fairnburn?
10 out of 10 out of 10. This is a thriller that happens on a family vacation. An accident happens, and it kind of starts out in, like, I guess an isolated setting. You don't realize it right away, but, like, this is a horrible, tragic accident happens. And we follow the events that happened from that, and you follow
the Vegas. This is the Vegas.
I don't want to say too much.
Right.
There is a family and a community that really is impacted by this event,
this tragic event,
and we have to.
Well, and you can see from the cover, it's obviously a snowy setting. Like they go to a snowy vacation, and it ends up just turning into like a survive the night situation.
Yeah, and what happens?
It's not like a crazy murderer's out to get them or anything. It's really just like a normal situation that could happen to anyone. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think this book was so like impactful for me, at least, because this is another grief book, but we're trying to get through this traumatic situation
and make sense of all of it.
Yeah, and every single character is going through it in their own way. It was so good. Audio so good. 10 out of 10. Yep. Susan, you did it. You did it, babe.
Those are my favorite books. Christine has a couple more.
I have one more I want to talk about. An honorable mention before, because Susan Fairnburn reminded me of Suzanne Collins.
Oh, yeah.
So I will say Sunrise on the Reaping. We're not going to talk much more about that, but obviously that's in the favorites.
Oh, the book you ignored me my whole birthday weekend for.
Yeah.
I'm glad it made the cut.
This book right here, y'all don't know pining. You don't know political intrigue. You don't know fantasy books until you've read this book. And I don't want to hear smack from anybody until you've read it, okay? I can't even describe to you how good I read all 3 of these books in like the span of 48 hours, Monique's birthday weekend. It's just highly addictive, and the relationship between these 2 men, because it is a male-male romance, like fantasy romance, I guess. It's more of a fantasy with romance, but it is a slow burn, and they are everything because these 2 men are both princes, I guess, or like heirs to 2 respective thrones, and those thrones are at odds with each other. There's a series of events that happen that kind of like lands one of them in the kingdom of the other, and he's kind of trapped there. They know that the other person is dangerous, you know what I mean? And they're incredibly smart, and this is like political warfare happening in this book. Like moves are happening, and you're just kind of like in it for the ride. I don't even know how else to describe it, y'all. It's just so good. So good. If you like fantasy and you like politics, you like male romance, even the little crumbs that I got, I celebrated. Definitely like top 5 fantasy books of the year.
Yeah, I remember you.
Oh my God.
You wouldn't stop talking about it. It's that good.
It's like no one gets me.
I thought people read it on your recommendation and loved it. Yeah. So trust.
A few people have.
Trust.
Read it since I yapped about it. It's just so good. And Kevin recommended this to me.
Taste. Mm-hmm. You guys have similar tastes.
Taste. Man has taste. That's all I can say, really. I'm at my wit's end here, so.
The sun's against us.
The sun's against us. Sherman's in my lap.
The light's on us. I think we got a good group of books here.
We have a fun cast of characters.
Fun group going, and
yeah, check in with us at the end of the year to see if we still like these books.
Well, these books I don't see myself unless something horrible comes out about any of these authors. But the point is, I like these books. We'll add some more at the end of the year, and let us know if you loved, hated, not hated, but disliked strongly what you're reading. Something we didn't mention. Let us know. We'd love to know what you're reading. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to support us, and there's a plethora of links down below where you can find us on the internet in many ways, so check those beacons, Christine calls them.
And if you're still here at the end of this video,
Christine would like you to press a specific emoji that she will point to.
Right here.
There it is.
In the darkness we find light.
Maybe a flashlight.
Or a candle.
Oh. A torch.
Oh my god! There's one more book. This is very serious. I just read this book. It's Go Luck Yourself.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I know y'all are ready to go. Listen to me though. Go Luck Yourself, another male fantasy, actual romance, okay? This one is a holiday romance between the St. Patrick's Day prince and the Prince of Christmas. Listen, it's serious, okay? It's not like other girls.
Is this a sequel to the Merry Christmas?
It's Christmas. I mean, like a sequel. It's different guys. So, like, it's the brother of the main character. But listen to me, y'all. I put off this book I just read it in July. It came out in March. I put it off for a long time because I was like, I'm not really into leprechauns. I'm not really into St. Patrick's Day. I don't really care about it. I want to tell you something. You are gonna like this book.
Okay.
Do you like fantasy? Do you like romance? Do you like male love?
Love in general.
Do you like holidays? Okay. What about Ireland? The potatoes. I don't know why I thought I wasn't gonna like it. That's not right. I didn't think I wasn't gonna like it. I just put it off. I wasn't like super excited about it. There we go. Because
those are always the best surprise.
And it surprised me. Y'all, it was so good. And I read it on audio, which was great. And I'm gonna buy it because honestly, I need to own it. And it is a hate. It is a hate to love. And it's funny because there's this part where the prince of St. Patrick's Day says that Irishmen, they pick on the people that they like, and he's mean. Like, he's mean to the other guy, like, very mean, and the guy's like, you were flirting with me because you honestly seemed like you wanted to kill me many times.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's a love language, roasting.
It's
one of my favorite ones.
Definitely, yeah. It's just so good. So good. Anyway, I just had to say that. I couldn't leave it out because I just recently read it in like 2 days. So fast. And I wanted more. I would read that book again. I would. There's a lot of books actually in this pile that I would reread, but we're not going into that. Anyway, see you later. Love ya. Bye. Bum bum da 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 bum bum da.